Hi everyone, it's Ash from FPL Hints, here with an update to my UCL Fantasy Draft ahead of the playoffs. As always, if you're able to like, share and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. So when I first did my draft for the playoffs, the actual fixtures, they were showing up as being played in one block, and I wasn't aware that the stick and twist captaincy element and the subs bench could be leveraged in the same way as was the case prior to match day 8. Of course, match day 8 always done in one hit. So subsequent to that, I've realized actually there are two separate match days, as we can see on screen there. So in that first match day, Brest against PSG, Sporting against Dortmund, Juve against PSV, Man City against Real Madrid, and on second match day, Club Brugge against Atalanta, Celtic v Bayern, Monaco against Benfica, and then finaled against AC Milan. So that's a bit of a game changer for me in some respects. And also some of the players that I picked in my actual initial draft, there were question marks over whether I'd basically keep them after I reviewed those picks. So I will be making some changes as well. So in a nutshell, the first player I'll be looking to take out is Lookman. Of course, he missed out in match day 8 due to injury, and upon further reports and investigation, he's likely to be out until mid-Feb. So a massive doubt for this match, the first leg. So just taking him out, and I can basically redo my team without him there. And the other big miss that I really had was no Juve cover at all, and also the goalkeeping situation as well. That I thought that I just needed one keeper, but of course we have got the option to rotate goalies because it's not all in one day. So I'm going to have a rotating goalkeeper. And in terms of my other forward options, that third forward spot is a bit of a question mark for me. But Leao, I'll probably take him out because I feel there might be other options that are potentially available. One of those options is a player who plays for Juve at this moment in time. He's on loan from PSG, and I was wondering initially why can't I find him as an option, and that player specifically is a Muani. And then I realized, of course, he was at PSG. No doubt he must have picked up minutes in the Champions League for PSG as well this season. So effectively is cup tied, well, for want of a better word. So he's unfortunately ineligible. You won't find him in UCL Fantasy because kind of like just like where is he? Because his form has been incredible. He scored, I think, 3 goals in 2 games for Juve. So yeah, we can't pick him. So that's a bit of a issue, and yeah, would need to find an alternative option there. In terms of the other players that I've got picked here with my team, I kind of feel that the defense could be spruced up in some respects as well. I've probably just gone in quite early with some of those picks, missing a Juve defender. So I'll probably deselect Zappacosta potentially so that I can have a route into Juve defensive options there. And in terms of midfield, so I mentioned that, yeah, Lookman will definitely be gone. I think defense will be updated as well. So in particular, when it comes to the goalkeepers, so let's just confirm the dates as well, that Karnaseki plays on the 12th. So I need another goalkeeper that plays on the 11th of Feb. So coming to the goalkeepers, just sorting it by the options that are available. Let's just do match day points last time out. We can see that there are a few options here. Karnaseki is one player that I have picked. And the player that I've actually got in mind, going to go to Juve. So just get them here. So in fact, I'll just select all the options available for the 11th. Just keep it nice and simple. So Kobel technically is an option if I want to double up with Dortmund, Brest, but I probably won't pick the Brest goalkeeper. Juve, Man City, I'm actually not going to pick Man City. I'll probably deselect Brest. I will definitely not pick their goalkeepers. And then you got PSG. Won't pick the PSV goalkeeper. Won't pick Real, and definitely not Sporting due to lack of clean sheets. So yeah, the options available are literally Kobel, Donnarumma, and Di Gregorio. And the issue that I've had basically with Di Gregorio in particular was that, I mean, I'll put him in the squad for now. That in terms of how he was at the start, he had very reasonable fixtures and got a red card. Didn't really keep any clean sheets until the latter part of the league phase. So the issue for me is that, is he worth that pick ultimately? But then, had he been the second goalkeeper, I probably wouldn't have picked him. But I look at the matches, he was benched against Benfica, but he did play in his most recent match in Serie A. I don't think he's been benched for many matches, or to be fair, he was benched for some matches in December as well. But I'm going to pick him actually. Just feel that I've got at least an alternative with the goalkeeping front, and I've got some sort of Juve cover as well with their somewhat reasonable fixture. In terms of defence, the player that I kind of feel that is a miss here, it's probably another Juve defender. The route is I could I don't really feel like doubling up with two defenders from the same team, but that is a route that is potentially available if I really wanted to. But then I'm thinking actually, just going back to the fixtures, that Juve against PSV, and that if it goes wrong, I can then basically rely on my subs for the second day. So, Gatti could be an option, but let's have a look at the defensive options that are available just as an FYI. Looking at the options at Hakimi, I've already got him, and Schlotterbeck, got him as well. With Gatti, just bring him up, 5 million, and has picked up some form of late. That's 29 points in his last 4 games. So I think he definitely is an option. Again, with the intention that if he, of course, ultimately blanks along with Di Gregorio, I can then sub on another player. So that option is available to me. So plays on the 11th. Had Gatti not played on the 11th, I probably wouldn't have picked him. So I've got some leverage there. And then onto my midfield. There's a comment I actually had in my previous video. If I just confirm it here, there we go. That on my previous video, someone said, why on earth have you not picked Dembele? And Dembele, if I'm being honest, wasn't massively a player that I considered in the league phase of the Champions League. But then, to be fair, he's picked up steam of late. In the final match day, scored a hat trick. Then he scored another hat trick in Ligue 1, and he's someone who he kind of had very managed minutes in the cup competition as well. And to be fair, he is hard to ignore with the form, 14 goals in 18 games. He is a no-nonsense pick, and I'm just curious to see if I just select midfielders here that, like, in terms of his ownership, just bring him up, 6% owned. So somewhat of a differential. I think Dembele is a must-have for me. So perfect replacement for Lookman. And then with that in mind, one forward berth. And with the forward berth, I did say I wasn't super keen on having too many Real Madrid or Man City players, but into this equation does come Man City. So I'm just going to select them here. So they're playing on the 11th. And really, when it comes to, let's just look at points per million as well. Like Vlahovic, he's a bit of a rotation risk. There aren't really that many options. Gyökeres could be an option against Dortmund, but it's fairly solid Dortmund defense, so might think twice. The one player that I'm basically going to factor in, who was in my team for the league phase, is Erling Haaland. So let's just get him selected here. That with Haaland, his form for the middle part of the season has been considerably patchy, but then he has picked up steam somewhat in recent matches. And if money is no object, I think he makes perfect sense. That he has scored 2 goals in his last 3 games overall. To be fair, didn't score against Club Brugge, and prior to that, he did score against PSG. I think, Haaland, just as having some sort of attacking City cover, his high ownership levels, 38%, I think is a no-nonsense pick in this updated draft. So those are the picks that I have. I feel that this is an upgrade to the team that I had in the first draft. So look, spoiler alert, I've already confirmed those picks for my team. So I just bring them up here on the other screen. So that is the team as it stands right now. And let's just do my famous super zoom in. So I'm looking at a front line of Kane, Haaland, and Guirassy. In fact, I'll just put the dates on as well, just for further context. And then midfield of Musiala, Bellingham, Dembele, Barcola, with Dembele as the first day captain. And then Gatti, Hakimi, and Schlotterbeck making up the defence alongside Di Gregorio. And then, of course, all of my bench play on the 12th of Feb. Carnesecchi for Atalanta is the option if Di Gregorio blanks. Kim is an option, likewise, if one of the other defenders blank for me. And then I've got Pulisic and Hernandez to potentially come on as well. So, I kind of feel with this team that had the budget available and picks make sense. The date variation makes sense as well, considering the fixtures that we have in play. So, on the whole, looking at the fixtures, I'm not going to pick any Brest players. Sporting would have been Gyökeres, but couldn't justify it. Juve kind of taken a mild risk in having the double up in defence. And Man City, Real Madrid, one player each. I think that sounds about right. And no one from Club Brugge, no one from Celtic, no one from Feyenoord, and literally I've missed out on Monaco and Benfica altogether as well. So there you have it. That is my updated UCL Fantasy team ahead of the playoffs. No doubt there might be an additional tinker or two just before the actual match day itself, in case there might be some unexpected injury updates and so forth. But this will be the core of the team as I have it. I think the other difference was with captaincy. I had, Hakimi as my first captain, but I think Dembele, with the form that he's in, seems like a no-nonsense captaincy pick. And then Harry Kane to be the captain if Dembele subsequently blanks. So there you have it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Have I got the balance right? Have I got the balance wrong? Are there any glaring misses that I need in my team for this updated draft? And as always, if you're able to like, share, and subscribe, that will be greatly appreciated. And just a final note that with this specific round, of course, in the first leg, unlimited transfers, but you only have 2 free transfers in the second leg. And of course, that gets reset with more unlimited transfers in the round of 16. So just keep that in mind as well. Take care and all the best.